Well, if you bring a big envelope, even if you go and sell your land, bring all that money to the apostles' feet, all of it. Don't worry what you are going to eat or what you are going to do. If you bring it, you are going to prosper. Yeah. And the prophets and the diviners telling you that are with you in the same dry spell. But they want you to go sell your land, bring to the apostles' feet, and then no more eating. It's fasting time so that we quickly get to heaven. So you sell the land, bring that to the apostles' feet, and you are fasting, so you don't need anything. Then you go with the Lord. You go to the Lord. And that is the making of Shakahora, where over 400 people died, and many other Shakahoras. Why? Because people in need are easily manipulated. People in need are easily taken advantage of. I used to watch televisions, and I used to watch several evangelists some time back. I no longer do, because I wouldn't want my grandchildren to find me watching some of those evangelists. I wouldn't want. In fact, if I saw my grandchildren climbing up the stairs and I'm watching that, I would turn it off like somebody who is watching pornography. Because if somebody is telling you that depending on the size of your sickness, that should determine the size of your envelope that you are going to bring. If you are very sick, the envelope should be very big. And if you bring it to the front and it is very big, you can receive both the laying of the hands and even probably the feet for the anointing and speeding up, accelerating the response. That is what I came to watch. That's what I don't want my grandchildren to watch me watching. Prophets and diviners are listened to by people who are hearing that if I sell my land or if I sell my Uber, I'll get 3 Ubers. So why was I selling the first one in the first place? I would just have believed God for another 2. So, and you know, when you are desperate, when you are hopeless, you will be deceived by diviners. Oh, you know, your business, the reason why it's going wrong is because of there is so-and-so, he is doing this. Last week we have been treated to a lot of nonsense up there in Kiambu. A lot of nonsense. Where people believe that you can be bewitched anytime by anybody, even just by passing like that you'll be bewitched. We had gone for a burial of Petit's grandma, but everybody in that region fears witchcraft like hell. Make sure you don't eat anything here, even when they serve. You're going to be bewitched. Don't get very close as you shake hands with the people today. People are sympathizing and they are wishing that we get out of there alive, because we can be bewitched any minute. Josiah, I thank God for you that you came out alive. That I was watching whether you're going to be struggling because of being bewitched. And people are living in fear. And you know the name of the village? Galilee. Galilee is where we had gone for the burial. Why Galilee? Because they believe that the first miracle of drinking was performed by Jesus in Cana of Galilee. And therefore, their main responsibility, their everyday task, is to sell changa at the river Shania. Every day and night, young men and women are making changa and selling it in Galilee, because Jesus did it for them, and so they are the ones who own the miracle of turning water of Vivachania into Changa. And when you look at them all over around, they are hopeless. Their eyes are red. Look like they are fighting. They look skinny. Young men, when you are driving there, you must be very careful because you negotiate many corners, and these guys are on duty. They are on motorbikes, and they come from any side. You keep to stop, brake, or you just bang on each other. They are drunk because they are in Galilee, where Jesus turned the water into Changa. And therefore, they are blessed to live there themselves every morning, day and night, turning water into Changa, making an income, witching and being bewitched by each other. That's the lifestyle there. Living in fear that if you eat somebody's thing, then you're going to be bewitched. And if you saw a grave anywhere, and whose grave is this? It is for so and so. What happened? He was bewitched. And then you ask, I have seen so and so. And what about? Oh, he was bewitched. And people are Christians and they are living there in fear. They are living there tormented, harassed. And they live there. I want you to know that Jesus wants us to live a better life than that. Jesus wants us to bring hope to situations like those ones. Jesus died so that we can enjoy and live lives that are better than that. Now, so Nehemiah tells the people in exile, do not let the prophets and diviners among you deceive you, that you will be bewitched by so-and-so, or your child was bewitched by so-and-so. Do not even listen to their dreams. When you are in need, people will tell you all forms of dreams. Oh, I had a dream where you are driving a black TX, the newest model 150. And I saw you parking it somewhere there near your house. You were actually not in a rented house. It was your own house. It was black. I saw you. To activate that miracle, go and sell your cow. To activate that miracle, bring this, bring that. You will hear those dreams and you will activate those dreams. But I want you to know, if you want to bear fruit in a dry season, don't even listen to the dreams and the visions of young people. Why? Because you are a child of God. You can hear directly from Him. Joel 2:28, in the days of afterwards, young men shall see visions when the Spirit comes. Old men will dream dreams. They will not need anyone to dream for them. When the Holy Spirit comes upon them in those days, the Holy Spirit will ignite the visions and they will begin to see themselves out of exile and their hope will be restored and they will continue praising the Lord with a new song. They will begin to sing new songs because they can dream dreams themselves. And even old men like me will still see another 100 years and they will birth visions of Munyiri Africa Foundation, even when, instead of going home to retire, instead of going home and wait to die, they will dream big, better days when young people are seeing visions, when young people are living. Why? Because it's direct, you can see it. Nehemiah's work was not easy. It was difficult. But let me tell you, the people of Judah refused to listen to Nehemiah. That's Jeremiah. They refused. Because they want to hear from the dreamers. They want to hear from the prophets who are lying to them. They didn't want to listen. So what happened? Look at verse 9. They were told, they are prophesying lies to you in my name. I have not sent them. I have not sent them. So listen carefully when somebody is sending you that text message to activate that miracle so that your house can be built quickly, so that your car can come quickly, so that this can happen. You must be very careful when you are leaving a church where you are not being entertained with that lies, so that you go to where you are being entertained with that lies. Think twice. Think twice. They are prophesying lies to you in the Lord's name, and the Lord has not sent them, and he declares that. When we were opening the church of Bushi 31 years ago, people were living in fear. Fear. There was some certain kind of water you drink, sold by the so-called prophets and diviners, and you are healed 40 diseases. 40. And I was asking them, how does a human being, a Christian whom Jesus died for, have 40 diseases? Yet Jesus said it is finished. 40. Even in this town. When people know how you are struggling and how you are suffering, when they know how difficult it is to survive in this city, when they know how difficult it is to bear fruit as a Christian, they will want to take advantage of you and promise you heaven, when in reality, they have not known the way or the truth that goes there. So Jeremiah did not give up in his mission of bearing fruits, and he continued, but the people did not listen to him. So let's go back to our main text in Jeremiah 17. Let's get back there, because the people did not listen. They failed to listen. And I said that we cannot start our sentences with but, because but is a contrast. So we therefore need to go back to 5 and see what happened to people who failed to listen to the prophet. This is what the Lord says: cursed are those who trust in mortals, who depend on flesh for their strength, and whose hearts turn away from the Lord. Now cursed are those ones. Verse 6. They will be like a bush in the wastelands. Remember, we are talking of bearing fruit in a dry season. Those ones who try to trust in the mortals, those who trust in the diviners, those who trust in those prophets in the dry season, they will be like a bush in the wastelands. They will not see prosperity when it comes. You when you are cursed, even the obvious is no longer obvious. Even when you are prospered, even when God has blessed you so much, you don't see the prosperity even when it comes. Somebody here was praising God for the normal, ordinary things. He was saying, you have children. Another one was saying, I was in a car and I saw a person hit. I remembered, that's a blessing. Another one is remembering that 9 months are over, but they are alive, not because they are better than the other. But when you are trusting men, when you are trusting mortal bodies, when you are trusting human beings, you don't even see that prosperity. You keep looking and complaining and have nothing to thank God for because of the curse of trusting men. They will dwell in the parched places of the desert, in a salt land where no one lives. Those are the people who trust in men. Those are the people who trust in the prophets, in the diviners, who take advantage of you. And therefore our but comes in there. And that's our message today. But you are not those ones. You are not cursed. You are blessed. You are not going to be unproductive. You are going to be productive. You are not going to be cheated and taken advantage of, because you will stand firm in the hope. You are not going to hang your harp and refuse to sing a new song. You will sing and sing and sing. Why? Because you have known the truth, and the truth has set you free. Those are blessed people who trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. Let me tell you, it is not easy to trust in the Lord. But it is worth it. It is worth it. Those who put their confidence in him. How does the confidence come in? And how does it go away? The confidence comes in when we know who have said it. And we lose it when we misnow who have said it in the word. When we know it is God. When we know and we trust. There are so many children who tell me, Bishop, can you buy me this and that? Especially when we go to the children conference. One of them here, last time we went to the conference, said, Bishop, buy me a soda. Will you buy me a soda on the way? And when we get there, will you buy me this and that? So many things. I said, I can buy you if your teacher says yes, because your teacher is the one who is in charge. And secondly, I'll buy you if I have money. The boy did not respond to the first point that even the teacher says. He responded to the second one. He said, Bishop, you can't miss money. How can you lack? How can you lack money to buy me a soda? How? He believed that I should be able to buy him a soda. And true, he does. Where does he get that confidence from? He has the confidence. His confidence had come from the fact that somehow he had known, I don't know how, but somehow he had known that I'm the one who had paid the 2,000 shillings for him to go to the conference. So he knew that. That is where the confidence was coming from. And if I have been able to pay the 2,000 shillings for him to go to the children conference, what is a soda? Yeah, what is a soda? That is the same confidence that we should have in our God. Because blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. It is in him. So when we go to the conference, and the first day was over, and the bishop had not bought the soda. The second day was over, and the last day, I went to pick the children who were coming back in my car. And when we were with the children coming back with me from this church, I saw the boy running from the hall after the car to the window of my car and said, Bishop, are you not buying me? Are you not buying me a soda? So at that point, I knew I would only be saved by the first point. If your teacher says so. So I said, yes, if teacher Law says so, I will buy. And now he ran to the teacher so that to get the teacher's opinion. And I took an advantage and drove away. No, I was not that bad. I called the pastor later. I said, there is this boy called so-and-so. Can I send you some money to buy him a soda? And Rose said, well, it is very difficult to buy for one and leave the others. I said, exactly right. That's why I was saying, if the teacher says so. So I said to the teacher, are you telling me to buy for all of them? No, they have all been taken care of by the money that we give in the church. I said, can you tell the boy that and get me off the hook? And so she did a good job. And so when we met here on Sunday with the boy, he said, the teacher told me that we are all taken care of. And he had learned a lesson. And he became my friend from that day, even though I did not buy the soda. He did not lose his confidence in me. I took time, I explained, I handled the situation properly, and he still believes that if I can pay 2,000, then I can buy a soda, which is even cheaper. God who saved you can keep you through the dry season and enable you to bear fruit in the difficult season. God who brought you in Nairobi will keep you in Nairobi and enable you to prosper in this city. You are not going back simply because it has become so difficult. You are not going back to the shame of the villagers that you came to Nairobi and went back because things were so bad for you. You are not going back. If you go back, it is not because the season in Nairobi is so dry. You will go back because you want to be like those who are Heshimiwas there, who are sitting there. So you will go back as Mheshimiwa. Not because things are so hard for you to live here, but because you can still prosper even in the village as much as you can prosper here. And we must put on the right mindset that we are winning in this city. We are winning in our place of work. We must put up a mindset that we are winning in this community and we are not losing our confidence. We are not losing our confidence. We can prosper like the magistrate in Taita Taveta, even when nobody else is prospering there. We can get fruit and bear fruit. Fruit. Some of you, your salivary glands are already working. That's okay, because the Lord who provides can provide for. He's the same one who gives the salivary glands that works. So there is nothing wrong with them working. God will prosper you. Even in that business that you are doing. You might be going through a very difficult, a desert, leave alone dry season. But those seasons, the sovereign God is the same season of the better season. He is the same God who blesses your neighbor. He is the same God who put that boss who gives you hard time on the chair. And he is the same one who can remove that boss and put you there as the next boss. He is the same one who gave the money to the owner of that matatu that carries you. And tomorrow you can be the owner of that matatu and carry him, because he is the same God. The God of the landlord is the God of the tenant. The God of the owner is the God of the person who benefits, or the God of the employee is the God of the employer. We must not give up. We must not throw our confidence. We must not be cheated and deceived by dreamers and diviners during our difficult seasons. We must not lose confidence. We must keep our trust in Him no matter what. When we went to that place, I told the people whom I met there, I said, this is a place that I would want even to come back and probably even plant a church here. And they were wondering, when we are trying to run away, how would you want to come? You will be wished. Utarogwa, utakwisha. And I'm saying that's where I want to come. Yes, because Jesus came for those who are sick. He did not come for those who are well. Church, let me tell you, we are winning this battle. We are winning. We are winning the battle of this, whatever season we are in. A few months ago, I was disturbed by the nature of the young people that I see around. The lack of focus, too much time under the duvet, telephone day and night. And I made up my mind. I said, I'm going to be talking to one or two and walk the journey with them. And when I started picking a few and walking with them, and I told them I am intentionally walking this journey. Some of them were a bit nervous and they wanted to run away from that responsibility. And I decided to pray, and I would talk, pray, talk, text, pray. And the Lord has been very gracious. The transformation that I have seen within 1 month, some of these young people, the transformation I have seen, I can only imagine whom they are going to be 5 years from now. Only 1 month of intentionally saying, I want to walk with you. I want to see, I want to mentor you. I want to see the change. I want to see you, to see the potential in you unlocked. Because I believe it is possible to bear fruit in children, even your children, whether they are teenagers, whether they are university kids, whether they are whoever they are, it is possible to bear fruit there in their lives, however dry the situation may be. Look at Psalm chapter 1. And as you look at Psalm chapter 1 from verse 1, are you satisfied with being unfruitful? We have seen two comparisons in the book of Jeremiah 17. We have seen two comparisons of a person who trusts in man and another one who puts their trust in God. A blessed and a cursed person. We have seen that. Look at Psalm 1. Blessed are those who do not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers. Now, but who delight in the law of the Lord, and meditate on his law day and night. They are like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. See, remember, my friend the magistrate intervetor, the difference between his Pix's plantation and his neighbors is that he has 2 boreholes of water. 2. And he gets the water and pumps. And one of the things he was doing when you were there, he was building a big tank so that he can take the water closer to the Pix's. And so he has been able to produce this. Why? Because those who trust in the Lord are like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. The guys living in Galilee, where we were for burial, they have a nice river, very green, called River Shania. But instead of using it to do irrigation, instead of using it to grow pixies, they are making chana, drinking it, selling it, and bewitching each other through the process. That's what they have chosen to be in. If you want to prosper, be like a tree which yields its fruit in season, even in the dry season, whose leaf will not wither, and who prospers and bears fruit in the dry season. Meditate on this law. Let's go back to 2 and 3. Verse 1 and 2. Blessed are those who do not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners. Now let me tell you, and you have heard this many times, not from me or from anyone else. You are the product of the people who surround you. I am the product of my environment. Maybe what we are more familiar with is that good company ruins good morals. It's the same thing. That we become the product of our environment. It shapes us. If you are working with people who are always complaining, I'm telling you, you won't go very far before you become the best complainer in the world. If you work with guys who are always seeing nothing has happened in this world, you will not go very far before you become. Kama wewe wale watu unatembea na wao kila saa ni wale wanachukia serikali, hata kama wewe unaipenda aje, the next thing you are going to talk about is one term. Even if when you ask what is one term, you don't know what is one term. Even if you ask why one term, you don't know why. You don't know what, you don't know why. But the only thing is, you have surrounded yourself with one term guys. We are products of the people around us. Even in the social media. Since I became a TikToker, it's not long ago, it's just the other day. And I even don't know how it functions even now. I'm only learning. But somehow, when I turn it on, there are people who pop up there and they are talking to me. And I have been asking myself, why are they talking to me? Where are they coming from? What have they done so that every time I turn on, I see them? And these people, some of them, I don't even know them. And I have found myself sometimes singing their songs, even if I don't know them. Like Shiro GP. I think the reason I'm seeing her on TikTok is because we are planning on 29th to go together to get her. So maybe somebody along those networks linked me up, or the photographs saw each other. So every time I turn, I see her singing and dancing, and I start singing. Even if I don't know the song, I just find myself singing. And yesterday I saw Joyce. I don't know what she did to me. I saw her. I've not been seeing her. I saw her preaching in Kikuyu somewhere. Maybe I'll be seeing you more often, like Shiro. The people that you surround yourself with, whether you're in the social media, whether you are face to face, whether it is the people you text with all the time, you are likely to become like them and think like them. Kama kila saa ni kumedhoka, ni kubaya, hakuna, kama ni kuchukia. If you sit around guys who don't like their church, you will not like your church either. If you sit around guys who are always talking about the negative things about everybody, you will become like them. A few years ago, I decided I want to retire properly. So I began looking for guys who had retired properly. And so every Wednesday, for 1 hour, we meet online and talk. Just talk. Sometimes we don't even realize when the hour is going because we are just talking. And I have found myself thinking that retirement can be fun. It is not necessarily tiring, but changing tires to new ones of doing something different. Because your environment, the people you are around, shapes you. Blessed are those who do not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in that company of mockers. Kama unataka kutajirika, tafuta matajiri wawili hapa kanisani, ama huko kwa estate. Mwanze kuongea na wao, uanze kuwauliza, wewe ulifafikaje kuwa tajiri? Unamuuliza tu. Na kama wewe ni serious, if you are serious person in business, na kufanya kazi, anza kuongea na watu kama chairman pale, muulize coffee inapandwa namna gani. And very soon you start thinking coffee, and you start thinking productivity, if you are hanging around with people like that. Find out who is it that can encourage you and not discourage you. Who is it that can build you and not destroy you? Who is it that can inspire you and not pull you down? Who is it that can help you connect with the next destiny? One of my greatest loss and responsibility from May 29th, when I got that accident, is when I see a young person, I want to see how I can connect this person with their destiny, with the resources. Is it a book they need and I know where it is? Go for it. Is it a training that they need and I know where it is? Go for it. Take this link. Is it a job and I know where it is? Take this link. That is what I want to do. And therefore, I have looked for people who can tell me where to refer to those people. Yesterday when we pulled over in Muranga a little bit, a young man came to me and said, I read on your Facebook that these days you are hanging around with young people. Do you have some who are 25 years and above? I said, yes. What do you want to do with them? To be cashiers, if they are honest. See, the people you hang around with, they will have what you need. if you have become out clearly and openly who you are, where you are going, what you want to do, those people will become like them. Kama wewe unahanga nao na watu ambao wanasema mimi naenda kwa bani na kunywa soda lakini sikunywi pombe, utakunywa soda, ukunywe soda mpaka the next thing simujimalizia hapo. Utasema kama watu wa gari mahali tulienda kwamba Yesu ndiye alikuwa wa kwanza kubadilisha. Kwa hivyo hata hapa tutabadilisha. Check your friend, check your company, check. Baba Joro is here. Wakati tulimtembelea kwenda kufungua nyumba yake, he told us that he remembers when we were meeting group of men and we challenged each other that we were going to get out of rented houses and build ours. That's what he told us. And he told us that he held on that commitment, that inspiration from the other men. And his prayers were informed by that. His savings were informed by that. His everything, even though it took time, even though the vision tarried, it came to pass the other day. Why? Because he became a product of the people he was hanging around with. Alituhesabia. Akasema, Bishop akajenga yake, Baba Murage akajenga yake, Kioko akajenga yake, but I still held on to the promise. I did not waver. Several years down the line, he called us to go and dedicate his house. Because he was hanging around men of destiny who believe that it is better when you are in your own house than when you are in a rented house. And that's what they were talking. That's what they were praying for one another. That's what they were encouraging each other to do. You are a product of the people that you belong to or you hang around with. Bearing fruit in a dry season. So what is this fruit that we are talking about? This could be your life purpose. Your fruit. This could be your life purpose. What you are there for. What were you created for? I am different. You are different. What is it? Ni kitu gani hii ukiona hivi unasikia hii nitafanya? Kama ni biashara, kama ni nini? What is it? What is your life purpose? What is this fruit? I was speaking with my brother-in-law yesterday, the last born, at my wife's place, and he was telling me, kila kitu ni passion. I asked him, how have you managed to keep 5 cows in a small place and they look very healthy? Akaniambia, Bishop, kila kitu ni passion. I asked him, so your passion is? Akasema, mimi wanyama nawapenda. Nikasema, oh, so my wife is not alone in this. Ni kitu iko kwa damu yenu. Na ni kweli, huyu jamaa ameweka ducks, ameweka cows, he has kept pigs, he has kept rabbits, he has kept chicken, he has kept everything. And they are all healthy and doing very well. So when I ask him what is the secret, kila kitu ni passion. And now, ananionyesha kabusi, ananiambia, na hii nililetewa na my sister Joyce. Kabuzi kamoja. Because the company you hang around with, you can influence each other along those lines. Bona yeye hakumpelekea bangi. Yesu mtu wa bangi, ni mtu wa buzi, na anapelekea ndugu yake buzi. Nikienda kwa baba yangu the other day, hata siku anajua kwa buti yangu kuna kitu. Kufika tu hivi nasikia nashindwa nini iko kwa buti? Nasikia Pius akisema kuna kabusi tulipewa na mama hapa tuletee uka. Mtu wa buzi anapeana buzi. Mtu wa bangi anapeana bangi. Mtu wa chang'aa. Whom do you want to hang around with? Whom do you want to hang around with? Si mnaona the coffee man tukimpatia hii microphone, hawezi keti chini kabla hajataja coffee. Si mnaona? Yeah. You must be passionate about something. You must be passionate about something. That is the fruit we are talking about. However, we have the fruit of the Spirit, which is in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. And this We need this fruit. And this fruit of the Spirit, when we have it, all the work we have been doing this month here of evangelism, the work we've been doing here of leading people to Christ, when we have this fruit of Galatians 5:22, people will just be attracted to our lifestyles. They will just be attracted to the church. Evangelism and discipleship will just become easy. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. Love. When we have this fruit, when we bear the fruit of love in a dry season, people will just be attracted by that. Even we may not need to go for them. Joy. Sijui ni watu wangapi hapa unafurahia tu ukikutana na mtu ambaye ana furaha. Ama niuliza the other way around. Nani anafurahi wakati unakutana na mastoni, ukiamuka asubuhi mastoni face ni kama umewapiga usiku mzima wewe na labda haukuwa karibu. Ukitoka kwa gate, ukienda mahali unaenda kazini, mtu amekasirika. But when you meet people who are just producing joy, that fruit of the Spirit, you find yourself. In fact, if you look at especially the children who are here, those of you who get close to the children, hata kama hukajui, ukutane nako pale, usmile. Utaona ile smile utapata back. Si unavuna kile umepanda. Ukapate tu pale chini, hata kama kalikuwa kanalia, hata kama kamenyimwa hiyo peremende, robo. Na ukakute pale nje and then you smile. Hata kabla hujakaongelesha that language, smile. You will see the child atajaribu kusmile na machozi yuko ndani na kafanya hivi haraka. Kwa sababu tunavuna kile tunapanda. We all have the fruit of joy that is reflected in our smiles, in our relationship with people. We all have the fruit of peace. Ukikaa na watu kila saa, wanagoganisha vikombe, wanagoganisha masahani, wanagoganisha meza. Hata kwa ofisi, wakitaka kupanga kiti ni lazima sauti isikike. Amani imekosekana ndani, imetokana na nje, iko kwa actions kila mahali. Na wanapiga kila mtu, hata ule ambaye hatakani kupigwa. Unajua kuna watu ambao hata face yao ukimwona hivi unashinda ukampiga aje. Just innocent okay. Hao hana shida na mtu. Lakini mtu ambaye hana hizi anakombana. Peace, patience. Sasa hiyo kwa patience, hiyo ndio Mungu atusaidie wengi wetu. Kwa sababu tunataka microwave. Kama ni hii, tupande hii leo, kesho tuuze kama magistrate rafiki yangu. Kesho tunataka tununue Uber, kesho ilete ingine kama pesa kama ile ya Peter Njoroge. Tunataka hii kama ya ule right now this minute. Tembeleeni mzee kama Joseph. Awabia alisikia hawa wazee akawatazama kila mtu akienda kwa nyumba yake, lakini yeye akangojea miaka 9. Patience. Na kutokana na hiyo patience, hata wakati walikataa na half milioni yake kwa sababu ya patience, badala ya kukimbia kotini na kupigana, yeye aliongelesha Mungu. Mungu akampeleka Joska mahali ambapo kuna title na legitimate process, akaondolewa kutokana na maovu yale ambayo yako siku ya leo. Patience. Sometimes we don't like it. But if we can remember the testimony he gave from Romans 8:28 today, that even that time wakati haifanyiki, it is working for good. It is working for good. So what is needed? Patience. So that we can get to that point. Kindness. Just be kind to one another. That's the fruit. Goodness. Faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Now self-control, wale watu walikuwa exile. The reason they are deceived by the diviners and the dreamers, because some of them cannot control themselves. They want to do things certain way. Na kama unajua shida yako ile kubwa sana, for example, ni hasira. that you cannot control yourself when you're angry. Afadhali tuite tuombe maombi ya kufuga mpaka hiyo roho ishe. Kwa sababu hiyo hasira itakuharibu sana. Itakuharibu. Unajua wakati umekasirika, ngozi imekuwa red, macho imekuwa red kwa sababu ya jambo fulani, damage kila mahali, hasira. Na labda kile kitu imekufanya ukasirike. It is something you misunderstood, or somebody misquoted another person, or you hasira ni nyingi kwako kwa sababu fulani amebarikiwa. Hey, unajua kuna watu wanakasirika kwa sababu mwingine amebarikiwa. Anakasirika. Why not me, God? Kwa nini sio mimi? That's a terrible thing. And you need to pray about it if that is a challenge that you are having with. But for us to be able to bear these fruits, there is some work that is done on us. John chapter 15, as I finish, there is some work that is done to be able to get this. To be able to get this. To be able to get those fruits. Jesus is talking about, I'm the true vine and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit. While every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will even be more fruitful. He prunes. Haya, uko tayari? Uko chonjo? While every branch that does bear fruit, he does what? So that pruning is very painful when it comes to human life. Na si rahisi. But the reason for being pruned is so that that fruit that we have seen in Galatians can be produced. That self-control, that joy, that love, pruning. We would rather accept pruning so that we can get this. Wakati tulitoka kwa magistrate nyumbani kule Taita Taveta, akatuambia sitaki muende kabla msalimie kijana wangu. Because he got so blessed there, he brought his son there. They bought land, kila mtu land, lot of land, big land. So we went and met the son. And he asked the son, when are you going there to help the workers? They have employed a lot of people to help those workers because they don't seem to know how to remove the suckers on the pixies. They don't know how to remove the suckers. So the pixies are not producing very nice fruit because the suckers are competing. And again, if you ask the coffee man, he can tell you what that means. Hiyo ndio tulilelewa nayo kwetu. Ile ya kutoa, naenda unatafuta hii ni suckers, unatoa, unaachia ile ina produce all the food. So this young man said, I'll go there tomorrow to help prune so that the branches can produce more fruit. Pruning is not bad, but it is painful. Kama unaongea sana, ile unajua na ile hujui ya watu wengine, yeye anakuja. Anasema nakupenda sana, I want to prune. Alafu hiyo meme inatolewa. Hiyo ingine, mshana ingine inatolewa. Unaachana nayo. And then you become very productive with your mouth. Unaanza kuongea gospel. Unaanza kuongea la. Unaanza kuwa mtu. Kama wewe ni mtu unasikiliza kila kitu ile inasemwa kuhusu mtu mwingine. Kila kitu. Mimi siwezi kuja church, nilisikia walisema hivi kuhusu kiongozi wa hiyo group, kuhusu nani? Yeye anakuja na hii. Anakuja kwa masikio. Unaacha kusikiza yote. Unaanza kusikia ile itakufaidi, ile mzuri, alafu unasonga mbele. You become more fruitful. Kama wewe ni yule mtu ambaye unakula zote mpaka tairi ya Mungu, alafu unaanza kulipend baadaye wakati umekula, anakuja mfuko yako na pasi yako, Kama pasi yako inakuwaga pande hii kama ya mama yangu, unabakisha na tithe. Pruning. But it is painful. But you become more fruitful. And therefore you are able to produce better fruit. If the Lord decides to prune you through the reading of the word that you read, na usikie conviction in the spirit about something, wacha kusikia kama kuna shida. Ni pruning. If the Lord decides to prune you through your mentor, like I'm doing with the young people, I decided I tell the young people around me whom I'm working with, openly, plain, point blank, hii na hii, wacha. Hii na hii, wacha. Kama your mentor anakuambia na usikie ni mbaya, and you feel like wanakuingilia, the purpose is to become more fruitful. More fruitful. That is the purpose. Appreciate discipline of God's word, and you'll be more productive. I'm thinking of a girl like this one who has come from Switzerland. This girl is 19 years old. 19. And she has come alone. So this morning I asked her over breakfast table, I said, why are your parents not concerned to let you go, 19-year-old, to Kenya? And she said, well, they might have been, but my grandparents were more concerned than them, but they let me come anyhow. And now she's here. It takes a lot of courage for an act like this one. Then I asked her, what do you want to study? Because she has just finished high school. She's going to college. She said, I am still deciding. I'm just praying. And I am praying that during this trip that the Lord will make it very clear to you what is the fruit that He wants you to bear in this life. Through what career, through what profession. And we are all different. When I was 19 years old, I would not have done that. And so I salute you for the courage. And I appreciate you for that. 19, I would not have done that. Actually, I had not gone anywhere outside my village when I was 19. The farthest I had gone is to run for our school in Nyahururu, a place called Nyahururu Stadium. That is the farthest. But you, may the Lord bless you for coming. And may the Lord help you connect with the needs and the people. Even your destiny, so that you can know why the Lord wants you to be here and what He wants you to do. So that might come with a bit of pruning. You know, a child like this, coming to a place like this, water is different, roads are different, people are different, language is different. Sometimes there might be a bit of pain emotionally and psychologically. When you stay with us and we serve you with the food that is, when you look at all the dishes, nice as they are, nothing is common. Sometimes it's a bit of pruning. And people like you who came to Kenya, some of them went back different and more fruitful and more productive. Some of them. Rebecca came when she was 18, stayed 1 year in Tumaini. You are even 1 year older. She went back and created GOA Switzerland, which sends over 100 people per year in this and supports all the areas of GOA and transforms lives. But the pain of pruning through God bringing her to such a place, removing the comfort to discomfort. Na tukiona watu kama hawa, we need to ask ourselves, where was I at 19? And the 19 years old who are here, 19 years old who are here, you also need to be asking yourself, if somebody has come on an international mission for kingdom matters, na mimi kazi yangu ni kulialia ati sijanunuliwa kiatu, ati ni mimi tu sina suruali ya ndani, wale wengine wote wako na ya green na yellow, mpaka wanavaa long mpaka hapa ndio tuone suruali za ndani, different colors. Wewe unalialia tu na uko 19. And a 19-year-old has left the parents and mother and come. Na ukimfuatilia anasema amefanya kazi, ametafuta pesa za kulipa ndege. We are learning so much from you. And thank you for coming to our church today. And I hope that we can consider seeking God on which fruit that we will bear, regardless of the season and how difficult things are. Accept pruning. Finally, accept pruning. Accept. Mahali popote pale. Accept. Kuna watu wanahitaji pruning, usigizi wao, wanalala kama wamekufa. Out of 24 hours. Wanalala 19. Na hiyo ingine bili ni ya kukula. You need some pruning on the fresh part of it, so that the Spirit can wake you up to read the Bible, so that the Spirit can wake you up to pray. Na wengine wanakula zaidi. Niliona sahani imewekwa chakula huko kwa mazishi. Mimi nikasema, Mungu wangu. Na hiyo ni ya watu wangapi? Na ndio wanasema wanarogana na kurogwa. Sahani hata haina space, imebaki. So even gluttony is also a spirit. May the Lord help us. Nirudishie ile picha yangu ya huko Taveta. Na mkitaka shamba Taveta, muongee na Mama Thagana. Sasa mimi maombi yangu kwenu kila mmoja wenu, sio mambo ya kununua shamba Taveta. Ni mzae mazao mpaka mshikiliwe na mti namna hii. Kwa sababu mmezaa zaidi. Yaani branches zitavunja. Mzae kazini, mzae finances in the people you relate with, fruits that you will need support by others. You remember those people in Luke chapter 5 when they were fishing and they put their nets in the deep and then the nets were full? What happened? They beckoned. Come, help us kubeba, kushikiliwa, kushika baraka. And may the Lord be with all of us. And let's remain connected if we want to bear the fruit. Let's remain connected to Him. Connection. And now we want to connect with Him through the Lord's Supper. We want to connect with Him through communion service. As we wind up, I want you to think about the significance of the sacrifice that Lord made on the cross for you through His